Hello, friends. Hello, and welcome to this card thing. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to do something with cards. But it's more than that. This is a reading to dispel the Grinch. Spirit tips and wisdom for irritability. So, before we get into this, which is a timeless episode, but I am recording it the week of Christmas 2021, and let's just see what wants to come in. Let's invite in our guides as I wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who overlight this show, Archangel Michael, which he is right here in this card. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, Santa. Is Santa here? Santa might be here. All right. Santa, the spirit of Santa Claus. Whether you believe or not, doesn't matter, who cares? Just roll with it. So let's see, is there any backstory to this? Cards, they're like cards. So before we just jump into cards, all right, they want me to do cards. So I'm gonna grab, I'm kind of walking around as I'm doing this, but I'm gonna grab, they're like, just throw down the cards. All right, you'll see me kind of come in here. I'm gonna grab Pleiadian Power first. So all the decks, the majority of the decks that are used right now on the show are all my own designs. So this is Pleiadian Power. I've got the deck drawer open, and we'll be pulling out whatever other cards they want to draw. They want me to draw, but they want me to start by doing a throwdown of Pleiadian Power. They're like, just get into it. Okay, so I kind of did that off camera a little bit. But the first one that comes in is Love, Dragon, Healing. Heal your heart through experiential play. So right away, the first card out. Heal your heart through experiential play. I like him down here better. Heal your heart through experiential play. So let's pretend we're at Santa's workshop right now. Santa? Oh yeah, okay. So we'll pretend we're at Santa's workshop and we're happy little elves and we need to be less irritable. Okay, that's true. So the other day, my son and I, he's never seen, what is it? The Christmas Carol, the Grinch, not the Grinch, why does the Grinch keep coming up? The Scrooge movie, like the original, he's never seen any of them. So we watched the original one, the black and white one. And so now when the day after, we were like out and about doing stuff like in a lot of crowds. And every time we got irritated, we were like, humbug. And he's like, I'm really tired of you saying that, Mom. And I'm like, why am I so irritated? So I think there's like this energy right now, or whenever you're watching this, of like feeling irritated about something. And so how can experiential play help with that? Well, I think for one thing, it kind of gets your mind in a better mind space, right? Like, experiential play is supposed to be fun and lighthearted and joyful and magical and takes your mind off things. And it doesn't mean you forget everything and you don't take care of any of your responsibilities, but I think there's something coming here on the show. Maybe it's the next episode where we have some experiential play kind of stuff going on. And if you're watching this when it drops, and I just saw 444 on the counter. If you're watching this when it drops, then I will formally invite you to either join me for the premiere, or if you're watching this after, you'll have to see it then. But we are going to do a 2022 energies and planning your best year kind of workshop together. I'm going to set it as a premiere so that I can hang out with you guys in the comments and help you and draw cards for you and do all of that. So that one could be some experiential play coming up too. Okay, they've given me 2 more cards. So I'm excited about that. So with links to everything I talk about, cards, books, if there's any special shows of note, I put them all in the descriptions of this. And I do load these up on the podcast too, because people do listen to them. Believe it or not, even though they have cards and visuals going on, people do actually listen to these episodes of the podcast. So I do my best to describe things for your master ears as well as your master eyes. But the other 2 cards that came out, so we already have Heal Your Heart Through the Hadaga, the glare, the humbug, the glare. Okay, so here's another thing. So you may be tempted to be like, you so-and-so, which did happen to me this morning. I pulled my car out a little bit further, because that's a whole other story, out of my parking spot so I could load my dog in without having to take too long to get out of my parking space. And then another car pulled up behind me, and they were I knew they were grumbling because they felt like they couldn't get around, and then they rushed around, and I was like, humbug, couldn't you wait just another second? And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm not going to hurry for anybody. And so what if you're in a hurry too? Good for you, And then finally I was my teacher's always been saying, whenever you feel, anything like that, move the energy up, right? So that was I don't know where that was coming from, but the I'm not gonna hurry for anybody was kind of coming out of the throat chakra, darn it, tired of this. And then finally I just was okay, blessings, may you be blessed, person, send you some gold light. And then I felt better about it. Not even that was a big deal, but I was just kind of I'm not hurrying and I'm doing things my own way. So there. So it was kind of Grinchy in a sense, but I didn't wish them ill will or anything. I was just can't you wait? And then I thought, who cares? If you want to hurry, try to hurry around me, fine. If you can't sit and wait another millisecond, then fine. That's your problem. That's your load to bear, not mine. So anyway, so I lifted it up. When I said, blessings to you, whatever, have a good, whatever I said, then I felt better. So that, why do I keep saying so? So, a deer, a feet, that's doe, but playtime. Let's go hunt for buried treasure. This card has been coming out a lot over the past week or so. I think I've gotten it every day. Maybe that's because I'm finishing. I've finally gotten in a better writing routine. So working on stuff you love to do helps dispel the Grinch. So I finished Eat Like a Lemurian, and it's going to be coming out around the beginning of January. That's my first nonfiction book. It's really cool. It's like a little handbook, like a little workbook. I love it. So I'll be releasing that out. And then I'm finally finishing Rose and Sky. It's almost done. That's the 3rd book in the Soulmate series. I got this big burst of creative energy, and I started 2 new card decks. So we have Star Child Sisters I'm working on, and Love Connection decks. So those will be, I don't know how many decks, 7th or 8th, my 7th and 8th decks. And then the other card we got is 5D. You're receiving many messages from the higher realms. I like this one. So we've got 3 big cards out from the Pleiadian Power deck. So all of these things, I guess, are ideas and tips, and release your creative self and allow yourself to do things that you love. So you thought, because I thought going into this reading this morning, I was like, you guys are going to tell me to go outside in nature. And they're like, remember, just when you think you know, you don't know. So I was like, okay, that's true. I don't profess to know everything. So what else do you want me to put on top of this stuff? They're saying happy cloud. All right, you guys. So just in the pushing of this button, play button on this video or this podcast, you're already being enveloped in the energy of dispelling the Grinch, because not just the reading, but just me, and I'm standing up behind the camera and I'm walking around and I'm jumping up and down, and the Pleiadians are here and we're having fun. And that in and of itself, if you allow that healing to come in to your space, then we will enter your room or your sacred space or wherever you're listening to this, and we will surround you with loving, healing, angelic frequencies and high vibes to help dispel your humbug. Your humbug. All right, what else am I going to throw down? Because they said it was like going to be a card throwdown, like throw down them cards. So we've got, just show you guys, I've got Happy Cloud next. Holy smokes. All right, let's see. Oh, and I have to point out, and where the heck did my pointer go? I don't even know where it went. It's gone somewhere. Oh, I saw the other day, my son and I were going right around where we live. There's this really cute little town, and they had like a toy store, like, you know, the old-fashioned kind, and they had alien hands. Oh my God, I wanted the alien hands, so I should go back and get them. I wanted the alien hands so I can like put them like that. Anyway, these two guys, I wanted to point out. So if you're listening to this, I found the other day when I was out walking my dog, I found a painted rock. I think I talked about it before on the show. A ladybird / ladybug. I like to say it the UK way, ladybird. There's a painted rock as a ladybird. And I was walking a few days later, further more into a remote area of the space where I walk her, and I found a second, smaller ladybird painted rock. And it actually was like, is this little ladybird meant for me? Because I already have one, and I thought, no, I'm going to leave it there for somebody else to find. And so I walked away from it. A couple days went by, and the ladybird came into my mind, and I was like, oh. And I kind of walked by where I had seen it, and it was still there. And so I asked Spirit, I'm like, is this meant for me? I just saw 1, 2, 3 on the counter. And they were like, yes. So my big ladybird needed a little ladybird companion there. So love, exciting and new, come aboard. We're expecting you. Okay, the love boat. That love boat song has been coming up a lot too. But there's the ladybirds. All right, so Happy Cloud. What the heck does Happy Cloud want to say? Soon we'll be making another run. Oh, you're getting me a whole bunch of cards. The Love Boat. That was such a hokey show. Oh, I've got 4 cards out of this. All right. So the first card is, I know my hand, if you're watching this, you're probably like, your hand just suddenly appears and freaks me out. The first card is luck. You will be successful. So if you set the intention to dispel the Grinch, then you will be successful, because you would have seen the title of this podcast episode or video, and you would have been like, click play, and then you're already successful, because we're already here to help you dispel all that irritable cheer. All right. The next card out was dun, 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 Celestial. Angels watch over you. Come on, focus. This is one of my favorite cards because it's I don't know why. Wouldn't it be awesome to see a gold cloud? And I actually did see a rainbow yesterday morning. It was very fun. Oh, those look so cute. The next card out was Care. Tell someone you love them. That's like our self-care card in this deck. And then the last card out is All Right. Everything is fine. So let's just talk about all these for a minute. So just because you feel irritable doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that you're not spiritual, that, I don't know, that your manifestations are not going to come to you or whatever. Like, it's part of the human experience. Like, you can't be joyful and high vibe. You can try to be 24/7, but the key takeaway from this is not that you try not to feel these feelings because you have an emotional body. You're a human avatar. You were made with an emotional body and a mental body and all that. So it's going to feel these feelings. But the key is not to not feel them and to try to smush them down. The key is to understand how to release them. And this is a lot of what I've started working with private clients on, is these, back to these protocols again, which they will be coming out. Some of them will, different kinds will be showing up in Eat Like a Lemurian, but these protocols. So it's not, this one is like, you got to shift to love and above. All right. You got to take whatever these emotions are, like humbug, like I don't want to feel humbug. Even yesterday, my son was like, Mom, the day was okay, but you kind of were like irritated a lot. And I felt it. And my teacher says, you know, like the more you meditate, every time you meditate, your chakras expand. So I'm learning a lot about how energy works from the quantum physics side of things and the quantum kind of engineering side of energy, the science and spirituality, the science of spirituality part. So you'll hear me talk about that just as much as you'll, hear me talk about now, some of these other things that I'm learning about, like Taoism and all of that, going with the flow and all these other things. But the more you meditate, the bigger your chakras get. Bigger chakras means bigger influence because your power centers are expanding. That means their reach, their circle of influence, or your circle of influence increases, meaning that you may have noticed that, people react differently to you. Like you are not doing anything any different than you normally would, but maybe you say something to someone, you say it the same way, but they're like, that hurt. So just like my son was like, Mom, your irritation, it was like really, bugging, like bothering me. And I'm like, well, I'm no more irritated than I would have been at any other time. And for me, irritation at this point in my spiritual journey is kind of like, humbug, that's as far as it gets. Before, like when I was younger, if I got irritated, like I would throw stuff. I mean, I used to have a lot of like repressed anger, I would throw stuff and break stuff and, unintentionally do things to get people's attentions. Like I busted out a window one time with my hand to get somebody's attention. So this is like, humbug for me is like a major success. So he's like, that your irritation was really getting to me. And so, Master Ko says the bigger your chakras, the more influence they have. So it's not that my anger or my irritation was any more than, it was actually less than it normally was. But somehow, it was like, because the chakras are bigger, it had like a bigger impact. Kind of like he says, instead of like just whispering humbug, the chakras are bigger now. So it was more like humbug, like across the landscape or whatever. And so it was like more like a bigger shock wave. So you have to understand the power of your own energy field and be able to shift that. So part of what we're here to do is serve and uplift energy. So, yes, I need to feel my feelings, but no, I'm not here to like impact other people. And yes, they need to learn how to deal with their own, energy clearing and stuff too. But it's just having an awareness of who you are in the world. And if you're a leader, if you're on a spiritual path, then part of your responsibility is always, right, cleaning, clearing, and cleansing. You're here to help uplift humanity and all that stuff you hear about your DNA structure and all that. So, you have to be able to understand like, oh, this is kind of like, this happened, I released this, but let's do some cleanup around that. Let's shift that up to the higher chakras, like love and above. So you go to love in your heart. You can shift that up to, somehow transmuting that humbug with love. You can even then take it to the higher chakras, like take it up to the crown and ask for divine assistance in helping to dispel that lower emotion or whatever. Ask for the angels to help you clear it. But it's not a one-time thing. These are the protocols too. This is not a one-time thing. This is not you just come watch a video and your negativity and your Grinch is like dispelled forever. No, it doesn't work that way. And I think a lot of people that I talk to think that, you know, you come to a healer or you watch a video, whatever, and you're fine after that. It's like, no, it's your responsibility every single day, every day, to work on your own energy. And we're just here, those of us that are out here doing these types of doing this type of work are here to help show you how. We don't want you dependent on us. I mean, certainly we want clients, obviously, that's why we're here to do the work, but we're here to teach you and show you how to not depend on somebody else to make yourself feel better, but to teach you and give you the tools, the structure, the instructions, the protocols that you need to be able to help yourself every day. Every I don't know why the everyday keeps coming out, because it's an everyday thing. So these things are just the tools that you need to help you along your journey. But you've got to show up for yourself and you've got to do the work. Don't expect anybody else to save you. That goes for you twin flames out there and you divine counterparts. Like, no, no, no. The person is not coming, or the person is not here to save you. You are here to save yourself. So you need to release that dependency where you don't have to do anything. You won't but it. But you'll come to find, like Master Co says, you don't have to believe me now, but we'll talk again in a couple more lifetimes. But it's like you have to be able to release the thought that somebody else is coming to save you, anybody else. Like, you're here to take care of your own energy and to live your dharma and basically save yourself. So what else do we need here? What other decks? Shaman's Drum. Okay. So they want me to just do Shaman's Drum. Let's see what Shaman's Drum. So this is Shaman's Drum. So far we've used Chinka, Halkida, Pleiadian Power, Happy Cloud, and then this is the last deck of mine. We're going to use Shaman's Drum. So this deck was made with Ancestral Witch Mage and Druid Shaman and Native Elder Medicine Folk energy. So that's the kind of vibe we get from this deck. We will sell no wine before it's time. Where's that coming from? Soul Sister came out. A special bond that transcends time and space. You support each other through the times that you find yourself alone. Okay. And they want me to look at the bottom of the deck, which is Quest. So what about this? Let me just see. Oh, all right. Okay. We're going to draw a card for divine counterparts at the end here. Quest. All great warriors must take time out to listen. So are you listening? You're getting divine downloads. What's this Soul Sister all about? A special bond that transcends time and support each other through the times. So I do find this. So I do find that when I'm needing help with something, so when I ask, like, a lot of times my guides will ask me, like, relief is being offered. Do you accept it? Because they can't step in unless you ask them to. And when I do, then I always find, for me, I always find that assistance through, like, my soul family on... usually on YouTube. So there's specific, healers and all of that I pay attention to. And so I always get, so I'm your soul sister, right? So I have a special bond with you that transcends time and space, and I support you through the times that you find yourself alone. So you could be feeling lonely right now and alone. And this space is just a place to connect and just uplift. And I don't know, you just come for the, who knows what it is that this show has going on. You just come for the, I keep hearing money, honey. You just come for the money, honey. There's no money on this show. Well, there is. We're surrounded by abundance and prosperity, but money, honey, I don't know what that's talking about. Honey money? Honey bunny? All right, honey bunny. Let's just finish this out. They wanted me to draw a card for Okay, 3 cards. One for those spiritual singles that are waiting for not someone to save you, but you're just waiting for your divine counterpart. Then those 3 cards or 2 cards or 1 card, just draw. They're like, just throw down some cards. Every picture tells a story. And Rod Stewart, I have been seeing Rod Stewart was in my dreams the other night. And why he was there, I don't know. I was like, did he pass? Because he was so prominently in my dreams. And I used to love Rod Stewart when I was like a little girl. Like not a little girl, like a teenager. And I got up and I was like, did he pass? And he's like, I'm sure he's fine. But it was really weird, like why he was in my dream. Okay, twin hearts. It gave me 2 cards, so I guess the first one is spiritual singles, and the second one is those already in union. So the first card that came out, so this is twin hearts. So this is my other deck. This is my divine counterparts deck. So spiritual singles. I am here for you in the good times and the bad. This is like you're waiting patiently. Why does this card always come out whenever we talk about spiritual singles waiting for divine counterparts? For some reason, it wants to come out with this soul sister card. So I think soul sister, soul brother. It's just more patience energy. That's humbug. Humbug. Tired of divine timing. All right. Well, I don't know how we deal with that. Maybe they'll give us another card for that. And then for those of you that are already in union with your divine counterpart, oh, I just drew this card. When I see you again, I will never let you go. So I don't know what's going on there with those of you that are in union, but they'll have some forgiveness stuff coming in. To some of these relationships where divine partners are always together, I think there's been some issues of like feeling separated from that person, even though you're kind of in the same room with. So they keep bringing me back to the loneliness again. Loneliness as an overall topic for divine counterparts. Either those of you not, haven't met this person yet, or patiently waiting. And those of you already in union, kind of feeling this loneliness energy. And obviously the message for those of you that are not in union yet is your soul brother or sister is coming. They're already with you. I'm here for you in the good times and the bad. They're already thinking about you. They're just not here yet. And for those of you that are with this person and still kind of have this loneliness feeling, there needs to be a little bit more coming together and talking about feelings, like a reconnection of energies, pulling yourself out of the 3D world for a little bit and getting back into sync with why you came together in the first place and why did this union form? It was obviously divinely guided. So recognizing the spirituality of the whole darn thing and why you're here together. Is there any other cards we want me to draw? Saying one more, so a final message. This is advice. A final message. So this is this is TLC for the soul. This is also my deck. Final messages for us. Yeah, so it's pretty much flow. So flow, which we had somewhere. Did we have? This is like you're receiving divine downloads kind of card. Flow and peace. So flow and peace are the advice. So just flow with whatever's happening, regardless of whether it's humbug or not. But ask, move that lower stuff up and out and ask for divine assistance. That's a lot of what I'm working with people on too, is like, if you can't remember to work with your own energy field every day because you're too busy, or you can't think about it because you've got so much lower energy that it slips your mind, because sometimes it does mine, or maybe you're too tired. Like sometimes I'm really tired and I have to do energy clearing on myself twice a day, when I wake up and before I go to bed. And have a very specific set of things I do, and the guides come in and help me with how to shield myself. And that's also what I work with private clients on, is these protocols of you know, we can assign you a guide. I can find you a guide. In fact, for a while, I've still been wanting to do spirit guide auctions. We had spirit guide auctions a while back on Instagram, and it just didn't go so well. But I really want to bring back these events like spirit guide auctions. So we can find you a guide for life, one that will be with you, one that you can call on whenever you need. And for private clients too, I make these protocols. Maybe we need to start making printables for these shows. These protocols of, you know, in the morning for 5 minutes, sit down, call on your guide, blah, blah, whatever the guide's name is, and ask them to clear your energy, and sit there for 5 minutes while they do it and see if you can feel what they're doing, and take this printable and put it up on your mirror or your sacred space, and remember to do it every day. And it ends up being, you know, 30 minutes a day tops over the course of the day. Like 5 minutes you do this here, 10 minutes you do that there, and then 10 minutes at the end of the day you do this. And guaranteeing you in 30 days that you will feel better, and you will, but you have to stick with it. You have to do it every day, just like taking a prescription medication that your doctor gives you. Here I am, one of many shaman, doctor, medicine people, energy workers, whatever you want to call me, you know, giving you a protocol and saying this is going to work, but you have to stick with it. So you're getting divine information. The other thing too is trying to bring in the peace vibe as much as you can. So going with the flow and staying in the energy of peace, asking that the guides show you how to stay in the energy of peacefulness, whatever that means to you. It's different for each person. That's definitely not a one size fits all, but just setting the intention, like, I'm going to be at peace. I want to be in this energy of peace. Peace is the reason for the season, or I don't know, whatever you want to say, but staying in peace. So this is Steve with customer service. Have I provided you excellent service today? This is like this wrap up, like, would you be willing to take a feedback survey on this reading? It's a South Park episode called Vindaloop. My son and I are so into South Park. But anyway, they get caught in like a paradoxical loop. Oh, what does it matter? Let's do some light language to further raise the vibe. This light language is going to clear out anything. Now remember, this is not a one-time fits all. We're going to do some clearing. We're going to raise you up. But if you want more details, you know, on on these, just do the light language. Dun, da, 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 dun, 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 dun. I don't know what the fuck. It's like the MGM lion comes on and goes roar. So that was a mix of Andromedans. So I've been working. I invited in the Andromedans because I wanted to start getting a better feel for their light language. The first part was Andromedan mixed with Pleiadian, totally clearing out your vibe, raising your energy up past the Grinch, and hopefully giving you a boost for the remainder of the next, for the next 36 hours. You should be feeling love and above, love and above. All right. And with that, I bid you a wonderful good day, and we will see you all again soon in the next episode. Take care.